Our guest now is the President of the Czech Republic, Mr. Petr Pavel.
Good afternoon.
Welcome. Mr. President, there are so many people coming here. Are they coming here only because it suits to come here to meet other leaders, or is there any real signal to be given to the world from here in today's situation?
Well, I believe that many of us, or I would say all of us, have gathered here to commemorate the Holocaust, probably the worst case of genocide in history. We can trace in human history many conflicts where civilians were dying in big numbers, but not all these civilian casualties could be considered as genocide. Most of them are simply collateral damage of war. But when we talk about genocide, usually we define it as a deliberate destruction of a nation or group of people in mass numbers. And one of the worst cases of genocide in history is linked to this place, to Camp Auschwitz. And obviously, we have to commemorate it because as humanity is really bad in taking lessons from history. If we don't remind ourselves what happened, how did it happen, what led to that situation, we would probably be in a position to live that history once again.
Is it correct to say that people, that we have something in history but not in our memory? Because when we look at today's world, when people tend to name several events as a genocide, as you said, they misunderstand this meaning, because the real meaning of genocide, which the notion which was created just after the World War II, to describe what happened here and in other places of that kind across Europe. Is it legitimate to say today then that whenever civilians are being killed, is it already a genocide?
Well, if we accept that idea, I think in any future conflict, killing civilians would always be marked as a genocide, and it's impossible. Quite often, civilians are being killed not because that one of the sides deliberately wants to kill them, but that one of the sides is using them as a shield. We saw it happening almost every day in Gaza, where Hamas was using civilians in a very cynical way as their shield against military operations that were launched by the genocide that they led against Israeli people in the neighborhood of Gaza. So I think we would always have to be very cautious when assessing what are unfortunate civilian casualties of war and what is the genocide.
Do the events like today's commemoration in Birkenau help people understand the sources of hatred and results of this hatred? Is it helpful, or is it just, again, what I asked at the beginning, is just a meeting of important people?
No. I believe that we always have to remind ourselves what led to the Holocaust, because it didn't start from one day to another. There were many traces leading to this strategy, and whenever we stay idle to these signs of change, then we would probably allow something like that happen again. And that's why we should be always very careful to watch signs of hate speech, breaking the freedom of speech, or rather allowing misinterpreting freedom of speech for distribution of hate speech. And we see it in a number of cases today. Of course, not all of these cases will have to lead to a genocide, but they are inciting very negative sentiments within the societies. They are alienating different groups in societies against each other. And in worst case, they are alienating the whole nations or ethnic groups. And these may lead to conflict and to genocide. Actually, we have seen that in Srebrenica, and we'll commemorate the 30th anniversary this year. And that was another example of hatred that grew up to something which we cannot even imagine in ordinary life.
You're a general, and you are a former top official of NATO, and so I'd like to hear what would you advise as an approach towards countries or organizations which are just killing people or trying to kill people or foment hatred for their personal individual goals?
Well, I believe that first we have to start by calling people and situations proper names. If someone is inciting hatred, if someone is changing the atmosphere for his own favor, creating very, I'd say, animosity in the society, then we should clearly mark who is at the beginning of that problem. And sometimes we're changing the meaning of who is a victim and who is aggressor, like in case of Ukraine and Russia, simply by following our political objectives. So I believe that if anywhere in the world someone is abusing democratic rights, to attack groups of people, to create an atmosphere of hostility, we should act at the very beginning, because, as I mentioned, if we stay idle, if we are not able to stand up against this behavior, it will very probably continue and grow into something bigger. In NATO, what we were always trying to do is to make intelligence assessment of any sign of hostility, any sign of conflict, not to let it grow into this scope that we have seen in the world wars.
Thank you very much for being here. President of the Czech Republic, Mr. Petr Pavel.